All right. Halftime, Tennessee 28, Missouri 17. Welcome in, everybody, to the Big Orange A to Z Sports Big Orange half game day reaction show, halftime reaction. Close enough. Charlie Burris. This is usually Jonathan Crompton across me, but Crompton had something going on today, and so it is Lucas Panzica of 104.5 The Zone in Nashville. Lucas, thanks for hanging out.
Charlie, appreciate you having me, man. I have approximately 700 less career pass attempts as an SEC quarterback than Jonathan, but I'll see what kind of perspective I can give here.
I think you can still weigh in pretty effectively. I believe in you. But before we're going to break that first half. I think people are going to have some mixed feelings about it. A ton of people are already weighing in the comments here. So first, I got to thank our sponsors, Farm Bureau Health Plans. Farm Bureau Health Plans is a corporate sponsor of the Vols. They've been serving Tennesseans for 75 years. Plan on them for health, dental, and vision at fbhp.com/ATOZ. Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com and type in promo code BALLS at checkout to fill your freezer with enough gourmet food to keep your cookouts going strong into the fall. And then Rattle and Snap Tennessee whiskey from Logstill Distillery. Make your own luck, just like Tennessee's fast-paced Rattle and Snap offense with Rattle and Snap Tennessee whiskey. Well, let's get right to it. Tennessee's offense back 28 points in that first half, on pace for 56 in this one. It should have been more, and they petered out on that last drive. Unfortunately, they had a chance to drop 35 and couldn't do it. But the defense, what the hell, defense? Excuse me. Hello, somebody. I don't know what they're doing, giving up 17 points, arguably the worst offense in the SEC. But your initial thoughts, Lucas, from that half.
It's a weird place that they're at right now where they're in control of the game. You feel good about 28 points in the first half. There's a few things you can look at. I'm seeing comments about Jalen Hyatt. What happened to Jalen Hyatt? 1 or 2 drops in the first half. But overall, putting up 28 points in the first half, it's very hard to complain about that, regardless of where your expectations are. But there's also some miscues defensively on the back end. It just has not been good. A terrible safety play today from Tennessee, bad angles, poor tackling, giving up basically a scoring drive there at the end for Missouri, thanks to some horrific clock management by Eli Drinkwitz. They do not get 1 or 2 extra shots to the end zone. In the red zone, they end up just hitting a chip shot field goal. So it's kind of a balance of they're in control, Charlie. It doesn't seem to be too much of a hangover for the offense, but it's not a blowout at halftime, which I imagine is what many people came in expecting.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were feeling like it should be 28-3 right now. I feel that way. But, just the defense, you look at just some of these plays that happened, like the Jalen McCullough, Brandon Turnage getting turned around on a terrible throw from Brady Cook. It was a 4th down.
Yeah, 4th and 1.
An odd play call, and I think a bad play call, frankly. And those dudes just get turned around. That should have been an interception. That should not have ended with much less a touchdown. It should have been an interception if those guys are paying attention. Horrendous. Like, it's just been stuff like that. And this game in general feels weird. It's been rainy all morning. It's not rainy now. The rain has passed, but it's cold. It's way colder than it should be right now in Knoxville. Just everything's just feeling funky. Eli Drinkwitz is a dork, and he's just over there making this game weird. I don't know, but they're one of the better defensive players for Missouri goes out in that one, went back to the locker room. That's probably, I think Tennessee's going to score regardless, but just another thing that happened in the first half that should work in Tennessee's favor. But otherwise, I mean, it just things. Yeah, you're up by 11, and I'm not super shaking in my boots that Missouri's going to mount some giant comeback in the second half and beat you. But come on, guys, what are we doing? Tighten it up. I do John Hill dropping in, so generous. He's been doing this a lot lately, giving us a little super chat here. He says we need to score 50 on the Kitties. Let's go Big Orange. They're certainly on pace for 56 points.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can follow through. Ideally 2 more touchdowns, 2 more stops on Mizzou, and I would. Well, I don't know. Do you think they get conservative in this second half if Tennessee runs it up a little bit more, or does Heupel go for the style points?
I think they keep going. And now we might see some personnel changes. Are you talking about conservative when it comes to play calling, or are you talking about conservative as in Dylan Sampson in there at running back, at the start of the fourth quarter or something like that?
against LSU, that's the one I think about. They had a 30-ish point lead in that second half, and then Heupel kind of shut it down, just started running the ball. They did it effectively, and they ran the clock out.
Against Florida, too.
Yeah, well, in Florida, it almost bit you in the butt. I think they've gotten better at it as the season has gone along. But I just think here, and folks are saying in the comments here, Andrew says we need style points. I completely agree. You got to show the playoff committee, anybody doubt here. If you can put 56, put a 56. That's what I say.
Yeah,
run it up, and I'll be happy there. I don't care. Drinkowitz. It's so crazy how a coach can be as impotent as he's been in this league and be so unlikable. Like usually, the coaches that suck, you almost feel bad for them. Like, man, that's a crap job. Like the guys at Vandy, you're always, outside of James Franklin, you're always just like, yeah, that's a crap job. And it's tough to get players there. That sucks for that guy. And you just, you beat the snot out of him every year. But he's so unlikable. Drinkowitz. Can't stand it.
Yeah, he's that guy now that has tried to fill that void by saying funny things at SEC media days and taking shots and stuff and whatever. You can appreciate it, but I feel like you got to win a little bit to get some of that equity that Steve Spurrier had. Steve Spurrier won a ton of games. Steve Spurrier will put up 50 on you and then say those things. So I'm with you on that. I think that's where people are at with Drinkwitz. Jeremy says on Facebook, we're up by 11 on a 5-4 team at halftime. You're talking about running it up. Let's win. Look, that's where you're at right now in the college football playoff race. Whether or not you think that matters, I think it does. And I think what you want here is by the end of this game to not let some of the miscues that you've seen that people are complaining about in the comment section in the first half show out in the scoreboard in any way. You want people to glance at this score and say, okay, Tennessee trounced Missouri at home like they were supposed to. They put up 40, 50 in the process, whatever it might be.
Exactly. I mean, you got to tighten down in the second half. And speaking of the second half, let's get to our segment here, brought to you by Omaha Steaks. This is the Omaha second half change. Fall is in the air, and that means fall grilling with cookouts, tailgate parties, and so much more. Luckily, the flavor experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to savor all the flavors of fall with their mouthwatering assortments of perfectly aged steaks, ultra juicy burgers, and easy to prepare comfort meals that are ready in a flash. Now is the perfect time to load up on all this incredible flavor and take advantage of 50% off site-wide with their friends and family sale. Go to omahasteaks.com and use our promo code VOLS, that is VOLS, at checkout, and you will get $30 off your order. I've had it. The burgers, the steaks, the franks, the everything. Super high quality, comes right to your door. It's awesome, so don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com, stock up today. Omaha Steaks isn't just steak. It is the best steak of your life, guaranteed. And don't forget to score the extra $30 off when you use Vols at checkout. Omaha Steaks is perfect for those chilly and busy fall nights. You won't come close to getting this kind of quality at the grocery store. Visit omahasteaks.com. Promo code Vols at checkout, VOLS. Minimum order may be required. Omaha Steaks. Now, Lucas, I'll throw it to you. What is your second half change that you would make here that's going to carry Tennessee over the finish line? Or ideally, as we've been talking about, run this score up. What do they got to do?
No, that's where I'm at with it. Tennessee ran the ball for 6.8 yards per carry in the first half. That got better as the game went on. I don't know if they controlled the line of scrimmage as well as you would want them to early against this Missouri front offensively. So I want Tennessee to continue that theme, to be in a position to where I want to see Squirrel White, I want to see Dylan Sampson playing in the fourth quarter of this game, where you have that comfortable lead, you're in complete control, and you're playing some of those guys to kind of affirm some of the depth that you have in that spot that you probably won't need and won't use for the rest of the season. But I think that expectation come into this game. So that's what I want to see. I want to see them completely control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball and just better tackling on the back end from this defense. This is not a 28-17 game if Tennessee is just playing, the most basic fundamental football that you can play with the defensive backfield. This is a 28-10 type of game at worst. So that's what I want to see. I'm talking 7 yards per carry to be able to really control this game in the second half and be able to play those younger guys and better tackling on the back end of the defense.
Yeah, you are in control of this game, and I think that's why, when we got that comment earlier where someone was just saying, just win, you are in control of this game. I don't feel like there is much from Mizzou outside of something freaky happening, freak injury, God forbid, something like that. I'm just not seeing it, even if Missouri puts up 17 again in this second half.
Well, hey, let me
But
say this. It's a weird day in the SEC. It's like the
it
first
is.
cold game day in the
Mhm.
SEC this year. LSU, Arkansas has been funky 6-3 in the third quarter. That's gross. LSU's making mistakes against Arkansas's backup. Malik Hornsby is a great athlete, but he's not KJ Jefferson. So it's been a funky day. A lot of mistakes happening. Kentucky is losing to Vanderbilt right
Yeah.
now. It's
What
14
in
to
the
6.
world?
It's 14-6 and almost halfway through the third quarter. So Tennessee is in control of this game. It's 40-something degrees in Knoxville. It's senior day, all of those things. Just control the second half.
Yeah, it's not noon anymore. You know, they've had time to get the
Right.
sleep out of their eyes.
Yeah.
Let's get going.
Senior day emotions, any of that stuff.
Let's wake up, get it going in this second half, and specifically to the defense. I mean, yeah, I have to go for my second half change here. I mean, it's got to be you start with the defensive line, and the defensive line hasn't been horrendous by any means, but it starts with them getting to containing Cook. They've been really good at containing.
Hey, he's a young Bo Nix.
Young
Bo Nix, according to Rick Neuheisel. Look at that. That's playing out.
Yeah. So I mean,
86 rush yards.
What the heck is going on there? Most of that came right there at the end of the second half. But like, come on, what are you doing? Contain at the line of scrimmage there. And then, I mean, just the safeties got to get better. So winning in the trenches here is key on both sides of the ball. The offensive line started really rough. They got it together there near the end of the half. But just both winning in both trenches and this. Come on, defensive backs. Hello, let's get it together, because this is one of the worst offenses in the nation, frankly. You just can't let this happen.
No excuses on that. We're getting comments. Conrad, I put the wrong one in there. He asked, where is Cedric Tillman? Tillman not playing. We haven't mentioned that yet. Mike into the Knoxville News Sentinel immediately when I saw that. He said injury. That's all I know. Health. And then it's being reported by the Vol Network that it's precautionary. It's wet. It's cold. They're holding him out. So I guess don't put too much stock into that. But I don't know if he tweaked anything or where Cedric Tillman is at. But my hunch would be they're just trying to kind of preserve him the rest of the year here.
He had a moment in that Georgia game where he looked a little squirrely, like something had happened, went to the sideline, sat down. So I'm fine with that. He's a guy that you need long term. You don't need him in a game like, I mean, clearly you scored 28 points in the first half. You don't need him that bad. Come on. Yeah. So we'll from here, let's ask everybody this. This is the classic question that we love getting everybody's feedback on. Scale of 1 to 10. Your confidence level that Tennessee will win this game. 28-17. You're in control, but Missouri's being pesky and just, you want to put them away, but the defense is doing dumb stuff. So 1 to 10, your confidence level that Tennessee will win this game, and we'll read out everybody's after we get Lucas's input here. What do you think? Your confidence level that Tennessee wins out here?
9 out of 10. I'm never going to go 10 out of 10. I'm never going to do that in an SEC game unless it's a 50-point lead against Vanderbilt or something. But 9 out of 10, this team's in control. Missouri's had some busted plays with the Tennessee defensive backfield. Brady Cook broke free at the end of the half there. But this Missouri offense, then Brady Cook, he might be a young Bo Nix. They cannot hang with this Tennessee offense. It's not going to happen on senior day on Hendon Hooker's last game in Neyland Stadium. There's no concern in my mind whatsoever right now, knocking on wood, that Tennessee is not going to win this football game. It's about how it plays out in the second half.
I'll fill in for Crompton here. He always says when we ask this question that his confidence level is 8, but that was because that was his number when he played at Tennessee. And to him, it's essentially a 10. I'm with you there. Never going to say a 10 because college football is a weird game. But, come on here. I didn't see anything in that first half that is just sending me into a panic mode. But what I did see is that Tennessee might struggle to get the style points they need for this playoff berth. And you don't want to be fully relying on other teams to do that for you. You got to, the resume is already excellent. Let's make it even better by shutting Missouri down in the second half. But again, 1 to 10 here. Your confidence level of Tennessee will win out. Victor says 7, Corey 6, Charles 10, Mike says 8, Eric 10. Lots and lots of confidence here. Rolly says 10, Montana 9, Andrew 10, but it's not about the win. That's interesting. The Booger Man says, seriously? It's 10.
Got
Nugs,
questions
8.
that.
Kazuma, 6. Conrad, 10. Thanks to everybody for watching, tuning in. The audiences here have been awesome all year long. You guys just keep killing it. So we appreciate everybody watching. But I just know this. Health, shut them down. Keep everybody healthy is what I mean by that. Keep everybody healthy in the second half. Don't have any catastrophic anything. I like for Mr. Jones, he says, Heisman resume boosting second half. That needs to be a part of it too.
Well, Hooker's first half numbers, you're looking at him 17 of 24, 229 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 6 carries, 57 yards in the touchdown. So keeping pace with what should be a Heisman resume.
Exactly. Like he's doing well so far.
Yeah.
Finish it out. Run through the finish line and defensive backs do something.
Yeah.
I don't know what you got to do there because I thought they weren't going to struggle at all in this game. A couple of 3 and outs. I was feeling really confident and they have just fallen apart. So let's just have a good half of football. And then tonight, the one that everybody's kind of watching, presuming Tennessee finishes out here, we'll get to TCU, Texas, and we will talk about that in the post game. I have to shill for the post game here too. We will be here, me and Lucas, for the post game also. And at that point, that game's not till 7.
6:30 kick.
6. Well, it's Central.
Central. Yes.
Remember, most folks here are in Eastern time.
Yes.
Yeah,
you're right. 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central.
Yes. All eyes are going to be on that one if Tennessee closes out here. And please. Texas. I don't like rooting for the wrong UT, but boy, they could come through big for the boys tonight. That would be
people are going to be watching that game with the intensity of if it was a Tennessee game.
Yeah.
That is a playoff game for Tennessee. As close to a playoff game as it can be involving Tennessee with Tennessee not being on the field.
Well, and do you almost right now are we like rooting for LSU to not have a stupid loss here?
I am. I don't want chaos in the SEC West right now. As fun as that would be from a neutral perspective, because who is the likely candidate to emerge from chaos in the SEC West? Out of LSU, Ole Miss, and Alabama, who is most likely to rise out of the ashes in that situation and make a surprise? Oh, we're back in Atlanta. It would be Alabama. So it would take so much for that to happen. It would take so much. LSU losing, Bama beating Ole Miss, LSU losing again because 2 loss LSU in the SEC and 2 loss Alabama in the SEC. LSU has the tiebreaker. It would take so much. But LSU, just take care of business. Just go to Atlanta, lose to Georgia, and be good Tigers for us.
Yeah, the ideal thing is for LSU to win every game by 50 until the SEC championship game, and then they lose by 50. Please. Clearly they're not going to do that today. This Arkansas
6-3.
Arkansas just lost to Liberty. But I do think that it was snowing in that game. So.
Liberty's losing to UConn.
Oh.
Liberty's UConn. And last I checked, it wasn't close. I'm going to try to pull it up because Liberty, I believe, it's definitely still ranked. So I'm trying to find the score of this game.
That's
but they were losing to UConn in the first half of that game. Let me pull up that score real quick.
And Hugh Freeze's going to lose that bid for the Auburn job.
Oh, they're coming back. 24-21 is the score. Liberty with a 3-point lead. So they stormed back after being outscored 14-3 in the first quarter against UConn, who's 5-5, by the way. That's pretty impressive.
Hey, Jim Mora doing a decent job over there. But regardless, we got eyes all around the SEC watching what's happening. Yeah, just keep everything flowing in Tennessee's direction. That's all. It's looking good. Let's keep the train rolling. All right. So that's going to be the halftime show. We'll get back to it. CBS is probably still on a 50-minute commercial break. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Charlie Burris, Lucas Panzica of 104.5 The Zone. We will be back wherever you are watching this right now. Back in the post game. Come join us then. And we're going to talk about that LSU game. We're going to talk about Oregon plays Washington tonight. TCU plays Texas tonight. We'll discuss it all and all of that stuff. And we will come back and see everybody then.